My name is Owen, my girlfriend's name's Jenna. We both work in the public sector up in Westminster. So I bought this house in 2014 and I bought it for people who'd done it up, but they'd done it up superficially, I think. I was really lucky, so I bought it for about $450, but there were things that they hadn't done. The extension, the middle of the downstairs was quite dark as a result and it was quite closed in. There were lots of decisions in terms of what life we wanted to lead. Jesus Christ, that's a really good question, isn't it? What does home mean? There were certain things I absolutely knew, right? I wanted two separate spaces because I just wanted to be able to have a separate room to where we were hosting at Jenna. I can have people around in here and the other partner doesn't feel obliged to be here or have to disappear to a bedroom. If she's got her friends on, I can still go and watch a rugby game on the TV or whatever the case may be. But I wanted the bigger space to be a space of our conversation. I'd lived here with my previous partner and then Jenna moved in and it doesn't feel like the house that belonged to my previous partner and I because a complete renovation happened right at the right time and now feels like Jenna and I's house. This room we wanted to be very multifunctional and now we wanted a sitting area, we wanted a dining area and we wanted the kitchen. And that's a hell of a lot to try and squeeze into a small space. So we went essentially for a sort of galley kitchen in where the old house is, if you look behind me. And you can see the pillars around the kitchen are where the sort of foundation walls of the old house were. And then we decided to have the hob on the, what you call the breakfast bar, looking this way. So the other person sits at the dining table chatting while food is being prepared. So it faces out rather than with your back to the person. You know, lots of people say, oh, get an island. I just don't think the space is big enough to carry an island. And people tell, oh, breakfast bar, you know, a little bit, you know, 1990s or whatever. It's about ignoring the transient nature of things and just going, actually, it fits its space better. It's worked out exactly how we wanted it. And those small little choices really change a dynamic of a room and how you use a room. And I think that's really can't be overstated. Look, so I budgeted about 100 grand plus kitchen. First off, I knew I wanted a pitch roof. I just think they look better. That's an expensive preference because you've actually got more surface area to have glazing and you've also got triangular choice there for the triangle above the doors. But I did these skylights bespoke as well. That turned out to be a much more expensive decision than I'd probably realised. As well as paying for the bespoke glazing, when it comes to the electric blinds, you've got to pay for bespoke blinds. What I didn't know was that I wanted it sealed off in a sort of separate utility room. I think that was really good advice from Resi, and it's really worked. I'm so delighted with that. There's also little mistakes you make along the way as well. I think if you look behind me, you've got two lights above the hob. I wish the light on this side was a little bit more that way because it'd be centered with the pitch, and that really just annoys me. I spent probably about 120 plus kitchen. What I didn't really cost very well is the stuff in between first fixing the kitchen and everything else. So tiles, getting the electrics done, getting all the light fitments inside and out, getting bloody electric blinds, all that kind of jazz. And that's where probably cost me 20 odd thousand more. Is it worth that? Well, yeah, in terms of lifestyle. I think people often look at these things as, oh, it'll add it to your property's value. I'm not sure I've got every penny of every pound back, right? To be clear, I knew that before the journey started. You know, maybe I've got 90, 95 pence in the pound back, right? That'll change over time. We really managed to get the most out of what is just a standard terrace house, really. And I think the moment you shut that door and come inside, you're in a different space. You've asked about home, and it can all become quite transactional, functional language you use, built in an extension, right? It's obviously got to make sense financially, and I'm not suggesting otherwise, it's all got to be within budget, but do think about it as a space you're living in and the utility you get from it, the joy you get from it, the happiness you get from it. Does it do what you wanted it to do? Not just how much is it going to add to the value of the property. And I think people can really get trapped into this constant cycle of thinking about the value of the property, which essentially is first and foremost the home they live in.